everyone, I am Lauren Sakari, and I'm so excited because today's conversation is in honor of Black History Month and the importance of amplifying Black voices. With that said, I am so honored to sit down with the amazingly talented Mike Gauyo. Born in Haiti and raised in Boston, Mike got his start in reality TV, where he worked his way up from being an assistant on shows like American Idol, So You Think You Can Dance, the MTV Awards, and the Emmys, to being a producer on non-scripted shows like GSN's Common Knowledge and Ease the Comment Section. He later went on to write the first 2 seasons of the highly successful Netflix dramedy, Ginny in Georgia, and wrote for the final season of the critically acclaimed HBO series Insecure. Mike is currently the founder of the Black Girl Writes Mentorship Initiative for aspiring Black writers, as well as the co-creator, co-showrunner, and executive producer of AMC All Black's latest original hit series, Send Help. So thank you so much, Mike, for being here today, and let's get started.
Thank you so much for having me. What an amazing intro. I was like, oh, yeah. Like, no, that was great. No, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm grateful to be here.
Awesome. Well, so Mike, as a Black man living in Hollywood with multiple successful shows under your belt, how does it feel to be in this space at this time?
That's a really good question. It feels good. At times it feels a little surreal. And I say that only because, as a child of immigrants who was brought up to want a career in medicine or something that was a more tangible career path, like I didn't think that this was something that I could do, or this was something that was available to me. Because, my parents wanted me to become a doctor, and that's all I thought, I was going to be growing up. So falling in love with storytelling and having that as a hobby initially really helped me kind of like find a pathway towards television writing. I just didn't think it was something that I can do. So to be able to do this now and like be living my dream is amazing.
Oh my gosh. And you're so amazing at what you do. I love that. You talked a bit about your Haitian roots just now, and I know you're extremely proud of your Haitian roots, and I love that. So how has your upbringing and your heritage influenced who you are today? And can you tell us a little bit about your childhood and a little bit more about how you got to LA?
No, absolutely. I think my background, my culture, is a huge influence on my perspective. It's a huge influence on my writing. I more so lean towards, writing dramedies. I love that. I feel like that's the cross section at which humans live, is between the trauma and comedic moments that happen in their lives and how those two things kind of intermingle at times. I feel like that's the truest part of storytelling, is being able to express that. So for me, I do lean more towards that. In terms of my upbringing, my upbringing was great. I had parents who worked really hard and taught me the importance of work ethic. And if anything, besides talent and access, you need work ethic in order to make it in this business, So I really credit my parents to providing that characteristic or instilling that characteristic in me. And immigrants are hardworking people, so one thing we're gonna do is work. So yeah, I'm really appreciative of my upbringing in that sense, and I think it really informs who I am now and what I write.
Awesome. And then so you've been in LA for how many years now?
I've been in LA going on 10 years. It'll be 10 years in September. And a funny story is I didn't originally plan to move to LA. I was going to move to New York because I went to school. Well, I was pre-med in college, and then I left college for a while. And then I went back to school to study theater with a concentration in creative writing. I thought I was going to be a playwright. I thought I was going to move to New York, live this bohemian life, and be a playwright. But I took this production internship my last semester of college, and I really fell in love with TV. I fell in love with that medium, and I was like, oh, wow, I really, want to explore this and see what I can do in that space. Now, New York was still kind of like the goal because I didn't want to be too far away from my family. My sister has cerebral palsy. She doesn't walk or talk. So I never wanted to be too far away and not be able to take care of them. But it was my mother who gave me her blessing to move to LA. She was like, if LA is the place you feel you need to be in order to achieve this career that you want, then go to LA. So it was with my mother's blessing that I actually made the jump and moved. And, I've been here ever since.
I love it. Well, you actually led me to my next question, because I definitely wanted to talk about your amazing and beautiful, fashionable mother. How has your mother shaped who you are and impacted your life and who you are today?
Oh, you're getting into some deep questions. I love my mom. I mean, we all love our mothers, right? But she means so much to me, and she is such a huge supporter of everything that I do. I'll often hear from children of immigrants, or more specifically, other Haitian folks my age coming up saying, oh, I wish my mom was like that, or I wish my parents were like that and they understood, what I'll say is my parents didn't understand. They had blind faith. They still don't understand my career now, but they had faith in me, in the sense of like, whatever it is that I wanted to achieve, they knew I was going to achieve that thing because of the characteristics that they had instilled in me. So, and that's all because of, my parents, and that's all because of my mom. She's really, she's a superstar in her own right. She always said that like her dreams for herself were passed down to her son. She always wanted to be in Hollywood. She kind of wanted to be famous and make a career for herself. And I tell her all the time, that's still possible, Mom. I'm like, let me put you in a few more TV shows.
I love that. I've seen you. I saw you. You had your mom on set with
right.
you.
My mom made a couple of cameos in Send Help, and she was amazing. She was dope, to the point where the casting director had hit us up weeks after she was on set saying, hey, would your mom be available for this thing we have in New York? They're casting for a Haitian mom. I was like, oh, wow. I'm like, here we go. We're getting started. So I love that for her. And, she's really like my everything, for sure. Nothing I wouldn't do for my mom. Like she's the best.
I love that. And I love that you put your mom on set. I mean, one thing that I have seen, and one thing that I think is amazing about you, is you've literally posted or, kind of talked about, this was my first roommate and now we're on set together doing this. Like, you really make sure that you look out for others that are in your space, that have worked with you, that have come up with you, so you can all win together. And I think that's beautiful, because not enough people do that. So shout out to you for that.
Thank you. Absolutely. I think I try to do that as much as possible, especially for folks that are in my life or in my circle that don't have the means to kind of like do it for themselves, or they don't have the access to certain people. Like, they're extremely talented, but they don't have the access to certain people. I'm always glad to help, and that's part of the reason why I started the mentorship program. It's all these extremely talented Black writers, and we're always hearing from execs or showrunners or, network studios that like, yeah, we just don't know where to find the Black writers. And honestly, there's really no excuse anymore, because they're here, and we make them visible. My mentorship program is all about creating visibility and amplifying these talented Black writers in order for them to be able to take up space in the industry, So that's something that's been really important to me. So aside from being able to like work with my friends and help my friends and like us helping each other, because this is a very symbiotic business that we're in. We have to lean on each other in order for it in order for things to go right, in order to make things happen. So that's always been really important to me, is like working with my village and creating more space for other people.
I love that. And so you briefly talked about Black Boy Writes, Black Girl Writes Mentorship, your Black Boy Writes, Black Girl Writes Mentorship Initiative. And of course, we know about it. But for those that don't know, can you explain to us a little bit what this wonderful program is and what the process was behind building it and getting it to where it is today?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Black Boy Rights and Black Girl Rights Mentorship Program started in spring of 2021. And it's been about, creating space for pre-WGA Black writers to be able to have access to industry experts, and established writers in the business or executives or, what have you. But it's about being able to connect these talented writers with individuals in the business that can help them, that can help be a guide, to them. Because oftentimes, especially with a lot of these kind of diversity reports that come out every year, there's always a talk about the lack of diversity in Hollywood when the talent is there, right? They just don't have the access. So if I can provide that access through this program, that's exactly what I'm going to do and have been doing and will continue to do. So we're going into the third year of the program, and we currently closed submissions for the third year back in December. We're reading those submissions now. So we expect to announce the 2023 mentees by March. So we're really excited about that. And yeah, it's just been, fantastic, having the program and hoping that it becomes like a permanent fixture in the industry.
Well, and I hope so as well. And with your program, you've created an amazing partnership with our Final Draft team. Would you mind sharing with us a little, tidbits about some of the things that you all have done together? How do you feel the partnership has positively impacted communities, specifically Black communities?
No, absolutely. One thing that I always hear or will see from new writers or baby writers or folks that are interested in writing is they don't know what software to use. They don't know how to properly structure their scripts. You'll find that sometimes folks who are interested in script writing will try to do it in Word doc or something, or try to find like a free script writing software in order to write their scripts, not knowing that Final Draft is available and it's like the premier script writing software to use. So it's particularly in the Black community when it comes to us, they just don't know. So for me, it's always been important to try to create synergy with other brands where it makes sense. And Final Draft was just one of those companies where it just made sense for us to partner. So while being able to amplify my mentees through social media campaigns with Final Draft, we've also been able to amplify Final Draft when it comes to making it feel more accessible to young writers of color who are coming up who just don't know that software exists for them, and being able to talk about the different features that the Final Draft has that a lot of people don't know about, So I think it's been a great partnership, and it's been great creating content with Heather and the team over there. So yeah, we're loving the partnership for sure.
Awesome. And yes, Heather is amazing. I'm really excited about asking this question. What advice can you give to others within entertainment who would love to give back to communities and create impactful initiatives such as yours, but they really don't know where to start? I mean, I've found that a lot of people tell me, like, I really want to do something impactful, but how do I do it? What would you tell them?
That's a great question, because that's a question that kind of plagued me at the beginning too, because I wasn't sure how I could contribute. I wasn't sure or confident in what my contribution was to a mentorship program or a space like this. I just knew that there were folks out there that needed the help, that needed the guidance. So as someone who is continuing to come up in the business themselves and creating space for themselves, I wanted to be able to use the momentum that I was creating in my own career in order to lift other people up, So for me, when it comes to like folks asking like, oh, like, how do I do this? I don't know where to start. It's really just start. Yeah. Just get started. Just put something together. Put together a mission statement. Come up with a game plan. Because the fact of the matter is, the program was birthed out of a need. It wasn't birthed out of necessarily wanting to create it. It was seeing that there was a need and that there was a gap in the space that needed to be filled, And that's what it's all about being able to fill that gap in a way that is beneficial for everyone involved. So that's what I, kind of like urged me to start the program, was knowing that like there were folks out there that, needed guidance and would come to me and say, hey, I'm looking for a mentor. Would you mind mentoring me? I just wanted to be able to structure it in a way that it felt like more of a community, more of a tribe, and that I can lean on other industry professionals to come in and do roundtables and also mentor these young individuals, because it definitely takes a village, and glad that I've been in my career able to build a Rolodex of contacts of individuals that are more than happy to help, because at the end of the day, no one doesn't at the end of the day, people want to help.
Yeah.
People genuinely want to help, see you rise, see you do well. You just have to have the right questions. You just have to have the right plan in mind and be clear about what your need is in order for people to be able to help, and structure it in a way that makes it convenient for folks, So if I can create a mentorship program and just invite other established writers, friends that I know to come and do roundtables for these young mentees and create connections between them, that's enough. That's more than enough. So I was able to partner with my management firm and my agents in this program as well. And at the end of the year, when we fine-tune a lot of their work, at the end of the year, my reps read them. They read the material and invite them for meetings and potentially rep them. From the first group of cohorts in 2021, one of those individuals is, we now share an agent. We're now rep by the same agent. The 2022 mentees are currently being read right now by the reps. One of them got into the Lean Away program, which is fantastic. I love that. I love how symbiotic the Black Girl Writes and Black Girl Writes program is with Amy Aniobi's Tribe program, because we've literally, oh, my ring is falling. We've literally switched mentees. Like, we're literally swapping mentees. So it's really about being able to create community with the folks that are already here, building community. The program is like that invisible ladder, right? It's that invisible ladder that exists for individuals who are potentially, who are not Black, who are not people of color, who kind of have that community already built in. They have that, is like almost sense of sometimes almost a sense of nepotism built in, right? And sometimes for our community, we don't have those programs that are put in place to be able to share information with each other. That's what this program does, So anything that I may lack in experience or I'm continuing to build in experience, I make up for in access. So, and I'm more than happy to share my Rolodex of amazing writers, creatives, executives with these young up and coming writers.
I absolutely love that. Oh my God, you answered probably like my next 5 questions. So I'm just going to skip to the other ones. I did want to ask you though, because this is also another question that I hear a lot, or, people talk about. What advice would you give to an aspiring writer who feels like, I'm getting a late start? Like, it's too late for me I'm 50. Like, why would I start now? Or I'm 45 or I'm 60. Why would I start now? What would you tell them?
That's a really good question, because earlier today I came across like this post on Instagram that had like all these like amazing designers, like Vera Wang and Tom Ford and Karl Lagerfeld and like all these folks. And it was like telling you at what age they started their companies. And like, Vera Wang started at 40 and, Tom Ford started like at 42 or something like that. And basically what it's getting at is it's never too late. It's never too late to live out your dream. It's never too late to do the thing that you want to do. And for a designer, if they still have breath in their body, they can design. And it's the same for a writer. If you still have breath in your body, you can write. So I'm one who believes that like you can reinvent yourself at any age. And we even have like a couple of mentees who are older as well and who are coming from one industry into another industry, their second or third acts in life. And I love that, it's never too late for a fresh start for anyone.
I love that. Richard Lawson, the iconic actor, he always says dreams don't have expiration dates. That's like one of his favorite quotes, has it written on the wall and everything. I love that.
They sure do.
So as my closing question, I would love to ask you, what would you like to be remembered as? Like, what do you want your legacy to be? If you could say, this is how I want to be remembered.
Wow. I mean, I would like to be remembered as someone who's able to build, community and someone who's able to help others, but create dope work, I want to be able to leave behind a legacy that will live on way beyond the time that I've had on this earth, I talk about the mentorship program. My hope for that is that it becomes a permanent fixture in the industry long before I'm gone, So I hope that whenever someone is raving and or talking and or discussing Black boy rights or Black girl rights, I hope that, my name will be able to live through that. And knowing that and thinking that makes me proud.
Oh, I love it. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much, Mike. This was such an amazing conversation. I am so proud of you. I think that you are Black excellence. I love all that you're doing. And I'm so grateful for the partnership that you have with Final Draft and all the amazing work that you've been doing.
Thank you so much to Casting Crew and Final Draft for supporting the Black Boy Rights and Black Girl Rights Mentorship Initiative. And thank you so much for your partnership, and happy Black History Month.
Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning into this very special Cast and Crew DEI conversation. And on behalf of the entire crew and I wish you all a happy Black History Month. May we all continue to amplify, support, and empower Black creators.